No. That's wrong. Dixie Diamonds 257. Metz, 11:44 p.m., Dixie, Australia, 8:44 a.m. Commander Kelball, having created and thus knowing the attack plan in advance, along with having a far shorter distance to travel than officers Bina and Pereira, arrived with Riwu Burchett at the MCC's entry door well before his two subordinate officers. Despite the enormity of his assignment, Kelball stood at ease, his face remaining impassive, as Governor Patterson's threat of martial law tumbled through his mind. Speaking in hushed tones, he said, "I'm not casting dispersions, but Governor Patterson has threatened to invoke martial law and call in the army if we don't release Brency into his custody. I'm worried about rot from within." "Likewise, not passing judgment," Burchett replied. "So am I. I'm afraid we've got a Geganese on our hands, and he's got a firm grasp on our men in power. I'd like to know who Brency has in his tentacles, if you'll forgive the mixed metaphor." Geganese, a race of six-armed humanoids who inhabited the same island as the Dolions in the ancient Greek epic Argonautica. "Six semper tyrannis," Kelball said, shaking his head. "My plan is to have you speak with David Jones, a.k.a. Hydra, before we book him. I want him worried that his accomplices are throwing him to the lions in order to save themselves. We've got good intel that Jones is the crafty one in our trio, so if we turn him, we'll have a much better shot with Brency. Sic semper tyrannis, Latin, thus always to tyrants." "Understood. You'll be careful with staying within the letter of the law." "Oh, yes," Kelball said. "I'll have Barton join you to be doubly sure." Kelball's radio crackled as Hing said, "Bina and Pereira have exited 13 Vultures, sir. 10 seconds until arrival. Over." 10-4, Kelball replied. "Over and out," opening the reinforced door, exiting, and then closing it. Bina and Pereira trotted to within a meter of Kelball and Burchett, stopped and saluted their commander. Returning the salute, Kelball grinned widely and said, "Time for a little fun and games. 2 prisoners to process and question. We're working on the mentality. No rough stuff, but no pleasantries. Once inside, we'll process crime even first. We want Jones to worry that he's the fall guy. The details are my job, not yours. Just giving you the game plan. There are 3 BPD patrol cars. We already collected 1 suspect. When we go, it's quick step to the cars. Once inside MCC, we take Jones to a holding cell before processing to cool his heels. If things go as planned, he'll fret a bit. Pereira, you know where the MCC's holding cells are?" "Yes, sir," Pereira replied. "Excellent," Kelball said before looking skyward momentarily, then continuing in an upbeat tone. "Cameras everywhere, so let's look swattish, shall we?" he concluded with a wink. Bina and Pereira, saluting and responding in near perfect unison, said, "Yes, sir," as Kelball led the trio in a fast trot to the waiting patrol cars. Each of the front passenger doors of the 2 squad cars opened as a BPD officer exited and stood at the ready awaiting Kelball's orders. "Officers," Kelball said, "thank you for your patience. Let's get the suspects inside where we can process them and you can be on your way." The 2 uniformed officers saluted, opened the rear doors of their cruisers, and each helped a suspect out of the car. Glancing at the officers' name tags, Kelball said, "Officer Ryan, Officer Callahan, right this way," as he motioned towards the MCC before leading the 4 officers and 2 suspects to the entrance where all 7 slipped inside and out of 7 Brisbane's camera range and in to Peter Norden's.